Hi, it's Mount Red Songbird in New York City. You're looking at a picture of my father, the son. Beneath him is Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. reborn as my grandson, Lou Ranziger. Below him is Hiawatha, Chief Sitting Bull, reborn as my granddaughter, Ostara Gloria Turner. All right, I'll begin the lesson. On my previous video, Catholic Church, homosexuals, pedophiles, says Milo, I forgot to credit Dr. Jerome Corsi with some of the information about JFK assassination from his book, Who Really Killed Kennedy. After you read the book, you can feel cheered to know that he, JFK, already got a body, another body, and it's human, just like his last body. He obviously had to take a new name since his mom and pop knew nothing about his previous stint as JFK. His new name is Kyle Kashuv, however you pronounce it. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. got another human body too, like I had said earlier. He's a member of my family. He's my grandson. His new name is Lou Ranziger. Let's move right along. Breitbart latest news. Liberal, okay, I won't read that. Left and right shamed after publishing fake news on MAGA, Make America Great Again, student. Delano is the name of the author who wrote this article. Left wing and the right attack kids to demonstrate virtue. Okay, I'll just leave the camera here while I read this. This is about a bunch of Catholic kids in MAGA hats allegedly mocking a Native American at a rally in Washington, D.C. Even the foul-mouthed, drug-taking author of Trains Potting just couldn't resist taking the moral high ground. But the story just isn't true. It's a leftist media fabrication which already has had terrible repercussions for the boys involved, who are now being threatened with expulsion by their school. Personal note, in my video on Mild Red Birdsong YouTube channel called Catholic Church, Homosexuals, and Pedophiles, says Milo, the Catholic Church has always been on the side of the left, even siding with communists. Okay. And the boys were wearing Make America Great hats again. Jim Hansen at Uncle_Jimbo, more media lies. This is a tweet. There was no hashtag MAGA mob hounding a Native American. Native Americans instigated an incident, walking into a peaceful group of kids and taunting one, chanting and drumming inches from his face. No one said build the wall, and if anything, that kid deserves a peace medal. January 19, 2019, according to the version of events widely circulated in the leftist media, a Native American elder was variously taunted, mocked, and harassed by a mob of non-native teen boys in MAGA hats. Supposedly, they surrounded him and blocked his passage. Activists such as Sean King leapt on the story as further evidence of the evils of white privilege. Part of Sean King's taunt read, When your power is centered, Miles read, in your whiteness, mocking others who are unlike you makes you feel strong, but it's weak and despicable. Then I say to Sean King, who looks white himself, thanks for that explanation of your behavior, Sean, and for a description of what you are, weak and despicable. He was projecting. The left always projects. You can get them if you just remember that. Stephen Knight at G-Spell Checker said, number 1, Sean King is a dangerous race-baiting hack. Once again, he is sharing selected and false information in order to push an anti-white narrative. This time, a selectively edited video. Why do you say anti-white? He's a racist. He's a black racist. Stephen Knight at G-Spell Checker number 2. Here's what actually happened, though. This kid did nothing wrong, and he left a link to the video if you want to see it. Twitter.com/uncle_Jimbo/ST. Jim Hansen at Uncle Jimbo. You see the boys here, another tweet. You see the boys here by themselves when the Native American activists move into their midst. That two-toned guy, balding guy, was bullying. This is my personal note here. Was bullying, trying to intimidate the young boy. Okay, another tweet from Jim Hansen. The diocese can apologize to the boys once the full truth of how the Native American activists came at their kids, and the boys simply stood their ground. I won't hold my breath for the media apologies on that. The media gets paid to cause the people unrest. They want to keep the people upset and unhappy. That is their job, and they get paid big money. Anderson Cooper makes $12 million a year. Could you imagine? Politico says, this is a left-wing website. Diocese apologizes after students mocked Native Americans at D.C. rally. Now, the videos don't show these boys mocking anybody, so they just straight up lied. Jim Hansen said, well, this puts a totally different context in play. The confirmation bias of the anti-#Trump mob tried to smear a bunch of kids. Sad. I say, the grown-ass man was up in that boy's face. Laura Ingraham lost sponsors and got criticized by the left because she said some words to activist teen David Hogg. This guy was physically trying to intimidate this boy younger than Hogg. Now the left's blaming the boy. This left is unfair and evil. Dr. Michael Savage is correct. Liberalism is a mental disorder. They're insane. They don't make sense. The boys were so good-spirited, including the one the Indian got in his face. They won the Indians over. What would have happened if he, the drummer, had beat his drum that close to the face of a black boy or girl? He wouldn't have a drum, and he wouldn't have all of his teeth either, probably. There would have been a uprising like in Baltimore, you know. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. That boy and the other Catholic boys were not cowed. They showed what it means to be civilized. They did not react, which is to go unconscious. They did not ignore the Indians either. They responded in a very friendly way. Jim Hansen says, definitive proof Native American agitators targeted #Covington Catholic kids for harassment over MAGA hats. Adults taunting kids, and the left smears the kids. Disgraceful. Matthew Schmitz says, here is a video clearly showing that Nathan Phillips approached the students. On the basis of the evidence we now have, I believe that people who issued categorical and one-sided condemnations of the students should retract and apologize. And then I say, you mean people like Sean King and Politico? They would if they were civilized like the boys. Matthew Schmidt says, remarkable statement from the student. He said, I did smile at one point because I wanted him to know that I was not going to become angry. I am a faithful Christian and practicing Catholic, and I always try to take no action that would lead to conflict or violence. Personal note, I see why the person said that he should receive a peace medal. Congratulations to the boy for scoring such good, disciplined Christian parents. You can tell they raised him well. You did your parents proud, young man, and you are a member of the Holy Royal Family. You were Eve's son in a past life. The Associated Press said the latest. Marcus Freeho, a member of the Pawnee and Seminole tribes, says students wound up singing with him. That's what I said. The students were very friendly. My granddaughter, Ostara Gloria Turner, was Chief Sitting Bull and Hiawatha in her past lives. I was Hiawatha's spiritual guide, the peacemaker, in a past life. Okay, now we're going to move along to trauma education. I bargained with life. Money. It was established in my mind of belief systems that I am poorer than the poor at 6 years old. Most of my life I am poorer than the poor. I have a reason to believe I am poorer than the poor. My mother is covered by my hand. My mouth is covered by my hand. Helen Anderson is not poorer than the poor. Mama Forrest, that's my sister, my half-sister. Mama Forrest seduced her into going to college. Mama had manipulated her into going to college. Mama had wanted to go to college, but Clarksville College had been segregated when it was time for her to enroll in college when she was young. Mama made Helen do what she lacked easy opportunity to do, become a teacher. Therefore, Helen was middle class, which is upper middle class in colored Negro black community. Mama's daughter's progress exceeded her progress.